In 2025, something disturbing is unfolding across Europe, and almost no one is talking about it. There are no major headlines, no breaking news alerts, but quietly entire Muslim communities are being wiped away. Mosques are being shut down. Families are being forced out. And holding on to your faith, it's becoming dangerous. This isn't happening with soldiers or violence. It's happening with policies, silent orders, and government files. It's cold, strategic, and unstoppable. Europe isn't banning Muslims with weapons. It's doing it with laws, immigration rules, and bureaucracy. You might have heard how quickly the Muslim population is growing across Europe. That's been all over the news, and maybe, just maybe, that's why some European governments are suddenly acting in ways that are raising serious concerns. So, in today's video, we're going to expose 10 European countries that are quietly and secretly banning Muslims in 2025. What's happening isn't loud, but it's real, and it's changing lives forever. But before we begin, just a small request. We put a lot of work, research, and energy into every single video. So if you find this topic important, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us keep going. Let's get started. Number 10, Denmark. In 2025, Denmark is sending a message without ever saying a word. No protests, no headlines, just quiet, calculated policy. Muslim majority areas are now labeled as non-Western zones. When the Muslim population in any district exceeds 30%, the government steps in. The result? Forced relocations, housing reassignments, and entire communities quietly dismantled. From 2023 to 2025, more than 1 out of 200 Muslim families were moved out of their neighborhoods. Friends separated, mosques shut down, and the cultural fabric torn apart. It's not that mosques are officially banned. They're just never approved. New permits get denied. Arabic classes are removed from public language programs. Even children's cultural events are now placed under strict Western integration guidelines. The government claims this is about cultural balance. Yet the actions repeatedly target Muslim identity. A new policy and discussion may lower the threshold to 20% Muslim presence to trigger neighborhood restructuring. Internal leaks mention ethnic dilution strategies. Muslim housing applicants in big cities are flagged and redirected to isolated rural zones. Denmark isn't forcing Muslims to leave. It's just making it harder for them to stay. Neighborhood by neighborhood, the map is being rewritten. Number 9, Austria. In 2025, Austria feels modern, peaceful, and well-managed. But for Muslims, that calm hides an invisible pressure. Surveillance has become routine. Over 40 imams have been deported since 2021 under vague national security claims, though none were convicted. New laws force Muslim organizations to report all foreign donations, resulting in the closure of dozens of Islamic centers. Sermons are recorded, and those deemed too focused on Islamic identity are flagged. Permits are quietly revoked. Buildings emptied. No other religious groups face this scrutiny. Churches and temples operate freely. Only Muslims are watched this closely. In 2025, over 1,600 Muslim events were canceled or denied permits without clear justification. An AI profiling tool scans attendees at Friday prayers, cross-referencing them with immigration and financial records. Citizenship applications from Muslims have plummeted by 70%, as the background checks become deeply invasive. Even traditional Islamic burials are being limited by local councils. In Vienna, there are growing rumors of a secret government database tagging devout Muslims as cultural threats. Austria isn't openly hostile, but its policies quietly isolate, monitor, and suppress. It's not crime that's being tracked, it's belief. And for Muslims in Austria, that belief alone now carries consequences. Number 8, Greece. In Greece, Islam doesn't face open hostility, it's buried under layers of quiet restrictions. Since 2020, thousands of Muslim asylum seekers have been held in so-called temporary camps. But by 2025, many have remained behind tall fences for more than 18 months. They're not accused of crimes, yet they live as if they are. Across the mainland, the reality is no better. Mosque permits are delayed or quietly denied. In Athens, home to nearly 4 million people, there's only one official mosque. Muslim children grow up without safe spaces, without cultural recognition, and without teachers who understand their heritage. This isn't neglect, it's strategic exclusion. Satellite images show that refugee camps have become more fortified. Their fences doubled in height and lined with motion sensors. More than 23,000 asylum applications by Muslims remain in limbo, neither approved nor rejected. Local laws now ban group prayer in parks, targeting Ramadan gatherings with subtle but consistent fines. Imams who speak in unofficial prayer spaces are deported instantly, no due process. At the same time, churches receive public funding, while Islamic centers are fined for alleged zoning violations that never appear on record. Mental health crises are surging in the camps, particularly among teens. Aid groups that once operated there are pulling out, citing government interference and surveillance pressure. Now, a leaked policy draft has sparked fear, proposing that non-integrating Muslims could be relocated to isolated islands, out of sight, out of mind. In Greece, Islam isn't erased in a single blow. It's suffocated under paperwork, silence, and fear. It's not about making Muslims illegal. It's about making their existence unbearable, invisible, and slowly forgotten. Number 7, Netherlands. In 2025, the Netherlands, once known for its open-mindedness, has shifted into a quieter, more calculated form of exclusion. Through the newly launched loyalty review initiative, dual citizens, especially those from Muslim backgrounds, can now lose their residency without ever seeing a courtroom. Over 500 Muslims have undergone these silent reviews in just 1 year. No charges, no trials, just a shadow judgment based on digital footprints. Friday prayers or expressions of faith online. In schools, halal meals have been phased out in over 30 cafeterias. Islamic holidays have quietly disappeared from school calendars. The state doesn't announce these changes, it simply erases them. Mosque construction permits are stalled. 70% have been indefinitely delayed or denied. Dutch intelligence now tracks individuals who attend more than 2 Friday prayers per month, citing indoctrination risk. A confidential report revealed more than 11,000 Muslims are being monitored using predictive software. Islamic charities face endless audits. Over 200 have been shut down. Hijabi women report a surge in workplace bias, but complaints are lost in bureaucratic silence. Arabic language schools are now labeled cultural risk zones and face routine inspections. Even interfaith programs are dissolving, not due to anger, but out of fear. This isn't open war, it's silent deletion, coded, efficient, and terrifyingly precise. Number 6, Switzerland. Switzerland, once celebrated for its neutrality, now mass discrimination behind a veil of quiet bureaucracy. The 2009 minaret ban was only the beginning. By 2025, not a single new mosque permit has been approved in over 5 years. Since 2022, 12 mosques have been shut down. Not for violence or unrest, but for administrative issues. Yet, strangely, only mosques face this fate. Full-face veils like the niqab are banned in public. Muslim women caught wearing them can be fined up to 1,000 francs. Random police stops, at train stations and parks, on the streets, disproportionately target veiled women. There's no public declaration that Islam isn't welcome, but actions speak louder. Over 1,800 Muslim-owned businesses reported surprise tax audits in 2025, triple the national average. Islamic school children are subjected to cultural neutrality screenings, while prayer groups are discreetly tracked through mobile data under public safety models. Arabic courses at Swiss universities have been slashed by 60%, labeled non-essential. One Zurich mosque was ordered to remove Arabic signage under new visual rules. Imams whisper sermons, fearing deportation. Muslim graves are defaced. Prosecutions rarely follow. A leaked memo exposed a watch list of 9,000 devout Muslims. Switzerland doesn't ban faith. It quietly smothers it under the weight of silence, suspicion, and red tape. Number 5, Hungary. Hungary makes no effort to disguise its direction. In 2025, the country rejected every single refugee application from Muslim-majority nations. The official language avoids the word Muslim, but the numbers don't lie. In over 50 towns, laws restrict property ownership for so-called non-traditional cultural residents, a veiled reference targeting Muslims. Islamic schools are systematically denied licenses, labeled culturally incompatible. Halal meat shops face twice the number of inspections as others. And under harsh new 2024 regulations, nearly 70% have been shut down. Hungary isn't outlawing Islam, it's squeezing it out of existence. In Budapest, 3 Islamic community centers were shuttered following sudden, selective fire code crackdowns. No churches in the area were touched. Foreign-born Muslims are added to a national integration registry, requiring quarterly interviews, home visits, and work checks. Mosques are quietly watched, with plainclothes officers logging cars during Friday prayers. Arabic shop signs are disappearing, banned under new tourist zoning rules. Over 200 fear-inducing media pieces have aired since 2023, linking Islam to extremism without evidence. Muslim children are pulled from class for non-conforming dress, and graves in Muslim cemeteries are desecrated with little police follow-up. Now, a constitutional change is under review, seeking to define Hungary as officially Judeo-Christian. The message is clear: Islam isn't welcome. Number 4, Italy. Italy has embraced technology as its new weapon of control. In 2025, immigration enforcement is no longer driven by human judgment. It's powered by artificial intelligence. This AI system monitors travel history, mosque attendance, and even social media activity. Post a Quran verse or attend a conservative sermon, and you're flagged. Shockingly, 30% of current deportations stem directly from AI red flags. Not crime, just digital profiling. One man in Milan, Italian-born, was deported to Tunisia despite having never left Italy. No trial, no warning, just a digital decision. At least 15 mosques were shut down last year for failing to turn over attendee lists. Facial recognition cameras now monitor 70% of Islamic places of worship, logging every face. Children as young as 10 are evaluated for behavioral risk based on what they write in school or like online. At airports, Arabic names trigger security holds lasting up to 5 hours. A leaked police algorithm ranks visible religious observance, like modest dress or daily prayer, as a threat. Hijabi women report being quietly blacklisted from rentals. Muslim charities are investigated for foreign influence. Over 2,200 Muslim social media accounts have been deleted for national unity violations. In Italy, surveillance replaces prejudice, but the result is the same: a quiet digital purge. Number 3, France. In 2025, France continues to insist it is defending secular values, but for its Muslim population, the message is different: disappear. Since 2021, more than 100 mosques have been closed, often with little to no transparency, citing extremism without presenting concrete proof. Over 200 Islamic schools, cultural centers, and charities have been dissolved. Foreign imams are barred entry, and wearing Islamic attire in public is increasingly criminalized. Halal food is becoming scarce due to expanding regional bans on ritual slaughter. What was once framed as a fight against radicalization has morphed into a systematic erasure of Muslim culture. Praying in public is no longer safe. Fear and silence now surround faith. In 2025, a new citizenship bill proposes that Muslims denounce Sharia law in writing, even if they've never supported it. Hijabi mothers are prohibited from joining school trips. Libraries are quietly removing Islamic history books. Muslim names now trigger delays in job applications, flagged by automated systems. Public libraries are quietly removing Islamic history books. In 2025, France isn't just targeting extremism, it's erasing identity. One rule, one closure, and one silence at a time. Number 2, Germany. Germany, once praised for its open-door policy during the refugee crisis, is now slowly but surely shutting those doors, especially to Muslims. Between 2023 and 2025, Muslim immigration has dropped by nearly 80%. Family reunification programs have been quietly frozen, and asylum requests from Muslim-majority countries face indefinite delays. Inside the country, mosques in cities like Berlin and Hamburg undergo surprise audits, often without explanation. Areas with high Muslim populations are rezoned, displacing long-established communities. Islamic studies are quietly removed from school curriculums, and Muslim parents are interrogated over trivial issues involving their children. Welfare programs now subtly discriminate Muslim applicants, must undergo extra interviews and disclose more personal details. There are no official bans, but these policies act like walls, silent, invisible, and ever-expanding. Germany hasn't officially closed the door on its Muslims, but it no longer welcomes them in. Number 1, Poland. Poland ranks first, not due to open hostility, but because of a systematic strategy of exclusion. In the past decade, fewer than 1,000 Muslim refugees have been accepted. In 2024 alone, fewer than 100 were granted entry. Visa applications from countries like Syria, Afghanistan, and Pakistan are often rejected without reason or follow-up. There are no prominent mosques in major cities like Warsaw or Krakow. Efforts to build them are blocked by zoning restrictions, frozen permits, or sudden public objections. Halal food options are nearly impossible to find, and government institutions ignore requests for religious accommodations. A national law banning religious symbols is enforced selectively. Muslim women in hijab are dismissed from jobs, while Christian crosses remain untouched. In Poland, Islam isn't attacked, it's rendered invisible. Muslim names on housing applications cause unexplained delays or rejections. Arabic-sounding names often mean your request goes to the bottom of the list. In schools, Muslim children are quietly denied time for daily prayers. Teachers follow unwritten rules that discourage visible religious practices. Public discourse rarely includes Muslim voices, unless associated with crime or fear. Poland's approach isn't war, it's quiet erasure. A country where Muslims are not pushed out by force, but faded out through silence. And there you have it, 10 European countries that are quietly and secretly banning Muslims in 2025. From frozen asylum claims to mosque closures, from cultural erasure to digital discrimination. This isn't just about religion, it's about identity, dignity, and human rights. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who need to know what's really happening behind in these European countries. Let us know in the comments which country surprised you the most, and do you think this silent exclusion will continue to grow in the future? Thanks for watching.